Senkaku in Japanese or Diaoyu in Chinese. These islands in the East China Sea may be uninhabited, but for Tokyo and Beijing, they represent a lot more than just barren rock and forest. The territorial dispute has been running for decades, with both countries claiming ownership. Now tensions are ratcheting up. At the weekend, China announced an air defense identification zone to include the island chain, provoking anger in Japan and concern in Washington.
This unilateral action appears to be an attempt to unilaterally change the status quo in the East China Sea. Thus will raise regional tensions and increase the risk of miscalculation, confrontation, and accidents.
Under rules declared by China, aircraft entering the zone are expected to provide flight plans, clearly state their nationality, and maintain communication with Chinese authorities. If they do not, they will face what it calls defensive emergency measures. The US has announced it still regards it as international airspace, and as if to prove a point, B-52 bombers like these flew from a base in nearby Guam into the disputed area on Wednesday. China's response, a measured one.
We are willing to make joint efforts with the relevant countries to strengthen coordination and communication to maintain regional peace, stability, and security of flight.
China is looking to assert its claims of sovereignty over the islands, which are currently controlled by Tokyo. Meanwhile, analysts suggest that both sides will move to avoid armed confrontation.
The most important thing is not to do anything likely to be seen as a provocation. If that happens, things will definitely turn into a conflict. Right now, the Japanese Defense Forces and the US Army have to think hard of the best scenario to avoid any provocation towards China.
Next month, US Vice President Joe Biden is set to visit China, Japan and South Korea, a trip that is likely to be dominated by finding some kind of solution to this ongoing dispute.